The DEA is looking for more companies to source cannabis, ibogaine, and psilocybin for studies. So the DEA is putting up the bat signal right now, requesting help to get these products. Wait a minute, is that a trap? It's a trap. Admiral Akbar. Huh. That wouldn't surprise me. But no, obviously the FDA is talking to the DEA. MDMA is moving down the pipe to be legal. All the paperwork's in. By this time next year, I should be sitting on a podcast talking about MDMA, legal, therapeutic use. Go to the Healing Realty Trust Clinic in the city near you. That's coming. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome aboard the Max Afterburner podcast brought to you by the No Fallen Heroes universe. Speaking of the universe, I am back. Got back, never left, but did leave, but I am back from our first healing retreat in the United States of America. Mission accomplished. Not like George Bush on the Abraham Lincoln, mission accomplished, but no kidding. One of my guiding precepts, mission objectives, day one of Top Gun Fighter Foundation and then the No Fallen Heroes Foundation was to heal our heroes at home. Man, it burnt my ass to have to, escape, sneak to Mexico or to Costa Rica to heal our heroes who incurred trauma serving us. Thank you, Oregon. Thank you, Colorado, for leading the way. Gavin Newsom, useless Newsom in California, vetoed the most recent psychedelic bill. What? Separate conversation. But all right, let's go ahead and get airborne. Let me start with a correction. So Mike Gabler, the Soul Survivor, episode 43. He's not a doctor, but I'm a stupid Navy guy. Anybody wearing scrubs is doc. I don't care what you do. If you're in the medical profession, you're wearing scrubs or do anything, it's doc. Navy fighter pilots, most fighter pilots call anybody medical doc. So I had said that, hey, Dr. Mike, and he's like, hey, Whiz, thanks for the kind words. I'm not a doc. I'm a heart valve specialist. And so just cleaning that up. But thanks again, Mike, for your generous donation. You healed. Well, we're going to get into it. But you saved some lives this weekend, man. You changed some lives, and you knocked the rust off an old guy here. Let me start with another update. And I'm always hesitant, whether it's the Healing REIT with Daniel, Cody, and Joe. Joe Caltabiano, who was on the podcast a couple weeks ago, is now our CEO and chairman. We engaged Piper Sandler as our investment bank. Things exploding. So we just sent out that announcement yesterday. It was a press release and the formal name change instead of Healing CREI. It's a lot of words. Healing REIT, Realty Trust. Sorry. Healing Realty Trust. HRT, Hostage Rescue Team. We're going to rescue you and help save you. So the REIT's blowing up and moving. Veterans Day, huge announcement coming. I've kind of teased it a little bit. No Fallen Heroes, LLC, is doing an awesome joint venture with My Crudosis, with Daniel and Cody and BJ and Dr. J. We're going to get into Dr. J in this podcast, man. What a fantastic soul, human being, healer Dr. J is. Got to go out to Colorado, obviously, put eyes on Dr. J and where the magic happens. Could not be more honored, humbled to be working with him and the My Crudosis team. And on Veterans Day, we're launching veteran-themed products. We got morning brief. We got a midday cat shot, right? Catapult shot, which is a shot, duh. And then night trap, coming in for a landing at night. Night trap. So 3 products. Maverick Mind. The Maverick Mind with those 3 products. These 3 products, I'll let you know the formulations and everything like that coming up. We're almost done. These things, well, they help save and changed Daniel's life. They helped save and change my life, and now we're putting them in supplements. Let me clear something up real quick. I got a Facebook Messenger from a F-16, a Viper guy and an F-22 guy, currently or was a Raptor guy, and he's a FedEx pilot. He's like, dude, following you, love the podcast, love your mission, the foundation, everything you're doing. Want to buy these supplements. They're legal, right? They're not going to. So, folks, psilocybin is illegal at the federal level. So everything that we do, organic, sourced, and 100% legal. Ain't nothing on a drug test. These are natural healing supplements from the earth. However, I'm going to manifest this and put this out to the world when, not if, psilocybin is legal for therapeutic or in a small amount of microdose level. Microdoses and Maverick Mind will be that day able to do it. Okay. So everybody clear on that, because I'm glad he reached out to me. I'm like, dude, yeah, of course it's all legal. Oh, okay, good. So let's get that out there. Remember, Uncle Sam, in many respects, is an idiot. So 60s, 70s, wait a minute. You take these things, they make you love people, love each other, question authority, and you don't want to fly on the other side of the world and go kill people? That's what these things do? Well, now they're illegal. So back in the day when they made psilocybin, these mushrooms can free your mind and expand your consciousness. We don't want that. It's illegal. That's your typical Uncle Sam knee-jerk reaction. Knee-jerk reaction, illegal, move on. Well, they didn't go after 50, 100, countless other mushroom strains that are all over this planet that can do similar things. So, but what a great headline the other day that I saw. The DEA is looking for more companies to source cannabis, ibogaine, and psilocybin for studies. So the DEA is putting up the bat signal right now, requesting help to get these products. Wait a minute, is that a trap? It's a trap. Admiral Akbar. That wouldn't surprise me. But no, obviously the FDA is talking to the DEA. MDMA is moving down the pipe to be legal. All the paperwork's in. By this time next year, I should be sitting on a podcast talking about MDMA, legal, therapeutic use. Go to the Healing Realty Trust clinic in the city near you. That's coming. So anyway, back to Maverick Mind. 100% legal stuff. Incredible. You don't need the, quote, illegal stuff to make you feel great, okay? So if you're so inclined, knock yourself out. But everything in Maverick Mind is 100% legal, organic, sourced, beautiful stuff, and it can do the similar stuff that you need, okay? Everybody understand that? So, and it's funny, you talking, I've talked to Uncle Sam folks, and they all wink and nod, and it's coming. And good things, I believe in the good things coming, right? Black as Night. Great song. Okay. Now, buckle up, Buttercup. Departed. Well, first of all, last Tuesday, went to a Panthers game. Chicken finger. Bit it. Massive crack. And a lot of pain on the left side of my mouth. I'm like, yeah, that's not good. So I went to the dentist the next day, Wednesday, because I was leaving for Colorado Thursday. Went to the dentist. They're like, yeah, man, see this? You fractured your tooth all the way down to the root. Like the gum, it like cracked in half. I'm like, ow. And awful. They're like, yeah, needs to come out. Like, what did you say? Needs to come out, man. Yeah, it's a fracture. It's done. Gonna have to do a bone graft and put a post in and put a whatever on top of it. Like, what the actual fuck? I'm like, I'm leaving to Colorado tomorrow. Mountains, hiking, stuff. And they're like, oh, huh. they did triage or whatever they needed to do. So I didn't even tell anybody this on the retreat because nobody gives a shit. But it sucked. Well, not really. I'll get into it. But I can't stand like those type of things, right? They rescheduled the surgery, like no kidding surgery, for Tuesday. I was getting back from Colorado late Monday night. Hadn't made a decision yet on what I was going to do out in Colorado. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I get back late Monday night, Tuesday afternoon. Let's just say by Sunday, I was texting Susie like, can you call Monday? As soon as the dentist's office open, please call and move that thing. I am not coming back from what I just experienced and getting my face drilled in. So yesterday was my appointment. 3-4 hours of hell. So I look like Carcillo now. I got a upper left gone. 5 months. They did a bone graft that has to heal for 5 months. So I'm going to look like Carcillo's other brother for 5 months. Actually, 8 months, because they say 5 months for the bone graft to heal, and then 3, we put a post in. The post has to heal screw that in your skull, has to heal for. So I got 8 months ahead of me to looking like Carcillo. Maybe I'll get smarter or something. So anyway, so that happened. So now you're up to speed on that, because I'm actually I was doing Daniel and Cody's podcast after this one today, but Daniel surprised his family with an emergency Disney trip. So I think it's going to be me and Cody. Okay. So sitting here, toothless Whiz Jackson. So here we go. Colorado, flew through Denver, connected through Denver into Montrose. Montrose, cool airport, 10,000-foot runway. I think it was like a shuttle emergency landing field back in the day. 10,000-foot runway for this small, I think there was 4 gates. Small airport, but if you ski Telluride, I think that's an airport that people fly into to go ski Telluride. And it was beautiful. The day we got there, short. I mean, it was hot. It was beautiful out. Nice little chill in the air at night, but it was beautiful. A military family member, dependent, and then an Army medevac pilot. I met those two in the airport, 2 of our grant recipients, and jumped in an Uber in Montrose. It was like the Valley taxi, like the old days, and went out to the ranch. Now I'm still gonna, we'll still stay a little high level. Until get some folks on the podcast and stuff like that. So I'll stay as high level as I can, and I'm going to have as many as the grant recipients on in a little bit. Don't want to mess with their integration. Remember, old me, like before Friday, would say what? 95% is the integration. 5% was the actual medicine experience. After sitting with a heroic dose of psilocybin, I'd say my ratio has changed. I'd say 1% is the medicine, 99% is the integration. My initial ibogaine experience with Marcus and JT and JJ and Robert was without a doubt the most spiritual experience of my existence, period. This, one with God, source, truth, divine. This was without a doubt the most grounding, mystical experience. It really was a Reese's peanut butter cup between the ibogaine and the psilocybin. I got my journal here. I still can't, I was day after the ibogaine, I was journaling like a fiend. They said, just write down everything. Even if you don't know what the hell it means, I did. I'll never forget months later, looking back at my scribble from the day after the ibogaine, I wrote down the word apostle. I had no idea what it meant that day I wrote it, and I did the day I read that again, and I am right now. I couldn't even really write down what I experienced, but let's back up, and we'll get into it. Beautiful ranch, right, surrounded by mountains. And the playa, the high plain, we're up at 5,700, 6,000 feet. And then you look over there and there's the 10,000 foot. It's spectacular. And then mountains all around us. Spectacular. Met our other grant recipients there. And one of them, just a great human being. Showed up looking really heavy. Really nice guy. One of the first responders to the Columbine High School massacre. You can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what this man experienced, what he saw, the horror, the trauma. And this is how I know. I got my down days. I got my dark days. Am I doing? Is this working? Is anybody listening? Am I helping anybody? So this firefighter from Denver, I forget how he told it. He said, yeah, our chief got invited, it's Denver, to the psychedelic science veterans and first responders dinner. And I guess the chief is a pretty conservative, straight-laced dude. And he said, hey, buddy, you're going, type of thing. Tell me how it is. And he's like, all right, I'll go. And he heard my speech at the dinner, and which I still haven't got from the MAPS people that I'm not too happy about. So if you're listening, don't know what the deal is, would like that when you get a chance. He said that he got in the car to drive home and told his wife and said, I have to do this. You want to talk about the medicine calling you? He said, Whiz, I got my car, call my wife. And she's like, okay. He's like, this is what I'm doing. I'll fast forward to Monday as we're leaving the ranch. Completely different human being. Lighter, his eyes brighter, just laughing. Completely different human being. So met him, a nurse practitioner from Colorado who wants to help people with the medicine, kind of rounded out our team. Sharing circle, get to know you. Beautiful ranch you live in like these domes. These cut a golf ball in half, plop it on the land. That's what it looks like. Really cool. Can fit 3 people in each dome. Ain't no bathrooms in the domes. It's in the main house. Big kitchen, bathroom and everything. So it's perfect. It's a great setting. So the sharing circle, getting firewood together, making a fire for ceremony that night. And it's always interesting. I was going out to hold space. I'm going out to hang out and provide that safe container for our grant recipients to heal and experience the medicine. And I was going to just hang out with our director of medicine operations, Nicole Fox. So I was just going to hold space and be there, right? Anybody moving through some stuff or wants to talk, I'm just kind of there. I also wanted to go, obviously, to put eyes on. Nicole went 3-4 weeks ago, a month ago, whenever it was, and sat with the medicine. And we do not send and or recommend any veteran, first responder, or family member to go do anything that we haven't done, period. That's leadership 101. Ain't telling anybody to do something that I haven't done ever, completely. It's interesting because phones blowing up a lot more recently, like, oh, we have a center. I'm like, can you send us people? I'm like, I can't unless I have time to come and, put eyes on. my reputation, our reputation, and, well, screw reputations. It's about the healing and the vets and our grant recipients. So long story short, I was going to take just like I did in Costa Rica, a facilitator dose to help tune in to the energy, to get a little tune up, get on the right frequency. And Troy down at Awaken Your Soul kind of left me with something that was really cool. We are the medicine. You are the medicine. The more medicine work that I do, the less that I actually do. A little bit will do you to the point of I'm good after this experience. I needed to do this experience to also be able to be an instructor pilot. Again, if I didn't do it, I shouldn't be talking to you about it. Okay? That's my SOP, standard operating procedure. Those are my rules of engagement. I don't know how, and we'll get into this down the road with our Healing Realty Trust and the professionals, and it's interesting that people coming back from a psychedelic experience and going to, quote, a normal couch doc or talk therapy doc who doesn't have experience with the medicine is an absolutely complete waste of money, in my opinion. There are enough professionals coming up now that have experience in the space. That's who you need to talk to. I'm warning you. So back to it. Beautiful night in Colorado. Started getting cold. Had a chance of rain. So instead of going further out on the property near a lake, and it was going to be a full moon. Just God could not have set this setting any more perfect. Everything God does is perfect. But this was super perfect. So we said, hey, chance of rain, why don't we set up a nice area outside the main house that's close to the fire? Perfect. So fire ceremony, sage, Palo Santo, everybody gets clean, states their intentions. They deliver the medicine. Now, the mushrooms are infused in like some lemon juice, and I'm not going to get into the ones and zeros behind it. Dr. J can do all of that stuff. I've never met a more intelligent man in the space with all of this stuff on the medicine side of the house. I love Troy at Awaken because he's got the science and the bridge. Dr. J is a bridge. So all the grant recipients shot it up, man. It's in a glass, and I got my facilitator dose so I could tune in and help out. I was going to plan on stoking the fire and being there throughout the night. So the 4 or 5 grant recipients on the ground in their sleeping bags, a lot of blankets, pillows, clouds initially, and giddy up. 20, 30 minutes, folks started leaving the fire to go lay down as medicine starts going in. Medicine goes in and takes an inventory. You can feel it. It scans. What does this human, this gorgeous soul need? Right? The initial inventory. So everybody went to lay down. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should go sit down, right? They were all on the ground in front of me. We had like couches, and I was like on a lounge chair, like a chair and then a armoire. Is that the word? Or whatever you lift your legs up on, whatever it was. So I just kind of started curling up and got a lot of blankets on me, and medicine's taking some inventory on me. Now, I had known prior to this, I don't share everything, obviously. Some rust buildup, man. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. Everybody's got a lot of stuff going on, but, and this was the first time in weeks I had taken a breath, man. The week before that, flying Dustin Lynch, NHL players, Hollywood people have massive news about the project. I can't believe I didn't start with this. Maybe I'll end with it. Let me write that down so I don't forget. Massive news this morning about, and you're going to be blown away. Or not, especially the angels who supported me since day one. They knew this was going to happen. I'm glad they did because it's been tough. So anyway, a lot of rust buildup. The gift of this medicine, the medicine work, is that you recognize rust buildup. Old Whiz, I'd be flying through the ice. My wings would ice up. I'd look out there and know the wings are iced up and keep flying and then spiral out of control and crash. Not be a good husband, not could be a good father, not be a good human. This medicine allows me to look at the wingtips and go, dude, turn the fucking wingtip heat on. Get out of the icing conditions. Land. So the medicine took an inventory of me and said, dude, got some fucking rust in there. Would you like to knock it out? Yeah. Laying there, looking at the clouds, the fire, these incredible humans around me, trying to be better. Husbands, wives, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers, sisters. So about, I don't know, I didn't look at time. You know, Jeremy came around and said, hey, man, you know, it's about a half an hour in, you know, how you feeling? Would you like the rest? Because, you know, he only gave me a little bit and everybody else took, I think it was 5 grams. And I said, you know what, Doc? Yeah, I think I do. And I shot it and got into my one-man luge, sitting there all wrapped up in my sleeping bags, curled up in the fetal position. And, man, it was the ibogaine was God under God's arm and just kind of, this was power. This was God. This was nature. This was the earth. If I can give you a summary, I was everywhere and everything all at once. It probably makes 0 sense to you, but it made perfect sense to me. The onset, and it's really cool, the next day as we, on our integration day and sat around and talked and laughed and cried, the sacred geometry, man. Looking up at the overcast, it was Neo in the Matrix. Sacred geometry everywhere. It looks like, you know, Aztec. I can't describe it. Fractals, math. It's like you kind of pulled the curtain down to see behind everything, and I saw it. The incredible design, intelligence. It was showing me, all of us, the fact that we all had similar experiences and then obviously our own individual tells you something about the medicine. Next day, everybody's like, my God, did you see all of that? I'm like, I didn't want to tell anybody I did, but fuck yeah, if you all did too, you look at what I saw. And they're like, yeah, wow. And the clouds just kind of like came down to meet me. And it felt like God was enveloping me. I will tell you, it wasn't all sunshine, lollipops, and unicorns. This is the first time I've felt the need to purge. It's not, and it's funny because I've always talked like that, like some people purge, but it's an energy release. It's not like getting sick. And I'm like, well, dude, you've never done that. So you're just repeating what other people say or you read in a book. Well, guess what? Now I have experience. I have knowledge. I have a little bit more wisdom because there was some shit that clearly needed to go from the Whiz fighter. For most of this experience, I was lying there with tears in my eyes, with the beauty of everything. And then every once in a while, man, the darkness, the rust needed to go. And I was purging. Nothing coming up, but energy releasing and purging. It felt like all of my ancestors, my dad, my sister, my grandparent, my down to the first amoeba was pushing this darkness out of me. And however much time into the journey, the clouds just kind of parted, and it was the night of the full fucking moon. Again, God, Oscar of the Year, production values off the charts. I'm lying there looking at this universe. But it wasn't everywhere and everything all at the same time. I was going to say it was so vast, and then it was nothing. I literally was everywhere at the same time. There was no past. There was no future. I was in everything in that exact moment. The only moment that ever matters, which was the present. So I had rust build up that needed to go, and it went. And then it was absolute beauty. The beauty of hearing the other folks laughing, crying. Sometimes they were all laughing together, and I'm like curled up on my chair with a little bit of vomit on my cheek and tears in my eyes. I'm like, okay, I'll start laughing too, man, but what's funny? I kind of need something funny right now. And it was funny because when our Denver firefighter, when we were doing our sharing circle earlier in the day, a chicken just randomly jumped on his lap and stood there and looked at him. And it was pretty funny. But in the middle of this journey, he starts yelling, "Where's my chicken?" That was some funny shit. So I laughed at that. But it was a group, and then it was individual. And it was a group, and it was individual. And Dr. J's playlist, it made the experience. The music was insane. If you know about my first ibogaine experience, God spoke to me through the music. There was no words. God doesn't communicate with words. Ain't a dude or a lady. It's everything, and it was energy. And through the music was energy. So, heavy to light. Moon came out. And then, again, God, Oscar of the year, it started to gently rain. And we were all kind of like the same thing, kind of crying, looking up. It was perfectly timed to just kind of cleanse. Some other people were purging, a lot of people crying. And then it was God saying, you're good. It was like look, I'm tearing up. It was like a baptism. I laugh at me for using this term. Old me laughs at me. New me doesn't. New me uses this term. Born again. I swear with that rain starting to come down, I looked around and I'm like, I got it. I got it. It was tough, though. I got it. I got to be honest. There was a point, man, where I was intuitively, I knew I'm in Colorado on my back, but I felt I had died. And I don't want that to scare you because I'm sitting here on my podcast, and I knew that I didn't, but I was seeing everything as if I had. And it was perfect. But the ego in me said what? I'm not ready to die. And I love Nicole because the next day, because I was saying that, I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this. I want to go home. I want to go home to my beautiful bride and my kids. I'm not ready. And she's like, you wanted to live. Don't say I don't want to die. You wanted to live. I'm like, you're right. It was a great way to reframe it. So I'd say the first, half of this experience, I was with everything, everywhere, all at once. It was incredibly beautiful. Again, you never want to hear a pilot say, I have no fear of death. Trust me. I love me. I want to be around for grandkids. I don't want to go anywhere anytime soon. What I'm saying is that fear. Now you know why the Johns Hopkins study, 85% of stage 4, my mom, cancer folks who did the psilocybin study, 85% of them said, I have no fear of death. I can enjoy what's left of my life. Can you imagine? Can I imagine? Yeah, I can, because I did this and I know what they're talking about. So then I'd say the middle was me. I'm not going to say stuck because I'm sitting here, but I was in between two realms, man. I was looking around. I saw Nicole with her sage walking around and helping people and to the music, and Dr. J checking everybody out. And I was not stuck. I was transitioning. Here we go. Transitioning from, fuck, man, heavy. I felt the ego was heavy, but my soul was like, dude, look at this. Do you get this? What are you worried about? To steal Susie's episode 3 title, it's fine. Everything's fine. And I felt that. That's why I was crying most of the time. I'm like, it's fine. Coming into this retreat, I had issues with this and that and that. And I'm like, I was laughing at those issues. So insignificant. And then in the transition zone, kind of an in and out, as the sky cleared, the moon came out, right on cue. I was kind of in the okay, I know I didn't die. I know I'm going to live. Now let's see what else we can do here. Looking at my future, looking at my friends, my family, this mission, man, I was, what do they call it? Kundalini energy. This is a family podcast. I'm going to leave it at that. If you ask me in person what this means, I'll tell you. But let's just say I was in it. And it was without a doubt let's just say God energy, the perfect energy. Imagine the perfect energy and enjoying that. And it was so funny because a little ego in me was like, dude, you can't feel this good and be having this much fun. I'm like, that was my ego. But God and everything I was with was like, son, this is it. Do you got it now? And it's funny because our Army Helo dude the next day said it too. Because I thought he was saying it too. He's like, I got it, like under his breath. I was having, I don't know if I think God knows everything and kind of knew that I got it, but I'm like, I got it. I got it. I kept saying that, I'm like, I got it. And a little bit of a laugh, like, man. And then as the rain came and I was like holding my hands up. I'm like, I can't even get over this. And it was washing away my tears and a little bit of, Chad. I had my Mental Joe Maverick Mind sweatshirt on, had to, a little bit of hood clean out there. And then it started to really rain. So God's like, yay, you're all clean. But now I really got to water this area. So we went into the main house and everybody kind of found a couch and Jeremy made some great squash soup. But I was, I had a little bit more work to do. So I went back to my dome and kind of got into my one-man luge for about the next 8 hours. Man. And it's interesting because I debriefed my Top Gun Options folks earlier in the week, and one of the guys is like, wow, you do a lot of the medicine or whatever. I'm like, no. This is my third medicine experience in 3 years. You want to talk about not creepy, you want to talk about God working? Literally, Friday afternoon, I get a call from Marcus. It says, Marcus, my brother, on here. And I was sitting in ceremony. I'm like, okay, I hope everything's all right. And he sent me a text. Hey, bro, you good for a February knock the rust off? And I'm like, oh, man. So my initial Mercury 7 astronauts, psychonauts, do an annual knock the rust off. Last February, I was in Costa Rica with our first female fighter pilots. So I missed that one. And then this one, I texted him back Monday. I'm like, dude, I'm good. So this isn't, in my opinion, a lot of medicine work. I think an annual knock the rust off, for me, not telling you what to do, man. I ain't a doctor. I don't play one on TV. Not a fill in the blank. I will tell you, I will be brutally honest with you and tell you that the more medicine work that I do, the less I know. And that's not a scary thing to say. That's a humbling thing to say. I will say the more experience I get experience. Like I said, I could never send somebody out to the Do Good Ranch and vouch for it if I did not do this. So this was another instructor upgrade flight for me. This was now I'm signed off. God signed me off in my logbook and said, okay, now you're qualled. I'm good, man. I don't even know if, a year from now, maybe I will do the Marcus and the Mercury 7 Psychonaut tune-up. I don't know. But it was interesting. Somebody's like, man, you do this a lot. I'm like, no, thank you. Especially after Friday night, man. I'm still, I brought my journal here. I wrote like a half a page. I'm still trying to unpack. It was completely different than the ibogaine. Okay? So I don't like comparing medicine journeys, and these things are all completely different. Okay? But I hope by me debriefing you and putting the ladder down, you can, our director of medicine operations, Nicole Fox, our chief medical officer, Rosie, Dr. Barnes, that's their expertise, is to listen, see what potential, show you. Healers don't heal. Healers show you. You need to heal. Oh, that was another good one, man. You all know from my Iboga check flight that I had a rough year thinking I wasn't helping people. And God was like, Matthew, you cannot heal anybody. That's my job, son. You're doing a great job of getting them here. I got it. I'm the pilot in command. Yes, sir, you are. You can have Jesus take the wheel. Jesus take the stick. That was reiterated, a lesson relearned the other night. I'm lying there in my one-man luge. There's some dog fighting going on, and I'm hearing it, and my initial inclination was, again, I couldn't help myself, but to do something. And then that went away real quick, and the piece of looking up and going, you got it. And then I went back into my purging. God's like, like Nicole was running around kind of just triaging people and helping, water, that you could see spirit doing the same thing. So that was really cool. Another validation. And it just makes me that much more disgusted when I see like sham bros or people who, I'm an expert at the medicine work. That's the people you need to run away from. Ain't no experts type of thing. Now, you can have PhDs and all sorts of education. I get it, but be very, very careful with dudes or ladies wearing the drug rugs, and I know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't. I'm just telling you. And so you guys know me. Sometimes I do hesitate telling you about my individual medicine experiences because that ain't going to be yours. Our Columbine hero was lying there wanting to help everybody, and I think he kind of got the message that I did. All right, what time is it? The next day, 5-MeO DMT. Did need to do it. Don't want to do it. I'm good for the rest of my life with 5-MeO DMT. Flipping in a bed and having an exorcism was exactly what I needed, and I am good. So I held space with everybody with the sacred OTAC. Man, I cried watching these guys, these gals go through it and heal. The crying. Our first responder, man, he was fucking letting it out, man. And when you see somebody else crying, man, I just tried. I did sit there, though, and, holding space, and here's a bucket or wipe your mouth. But I actually felt. I just kind of opened my hands and held it over these brave people and just said, God, if I can do anything, just send some energy out of me right now. I get you say that's your job, but I'm here. Can I send some love? And I did. I'm reading a whole book called Holding Space. So I'm getting there, man. I'm trying. But, man, I was crying, and these people did great. Our brave Army pilot, 82nd Airborne, right? Or 101st Screaming Eagles. He flew out of Fort Campbell. He's like, Whiz, each beat of the music was a flap of the eagle's wings. He's like, I am the eagle. And after his toad experience, he gave me the biggest hug crying, and he said, I've been fighting a battle with myself for so long. And he looked at me with tears in his eyes, and he said, I won. Thank you. How do you put a price on that? If this is work, God, sign me up for the rest of my life. That was awesome. So cool. Put the ladder down. And I tell them, I jokingly told them at the beginning of the weekend, I said, this is the world's greatest Ponzi scheme, man. You get in and you want to help. You put the ladder down. World's greatest Ponzi scheme is healing, is helping your fellow man and woman heal. It does not get any more better than that. Woo. Ate dinner at like midnight. It was a long day. It was a long ceremony. Very long ceremony. Did the guys and then the girls separate. And then Monday, waking up, beautiful day. We got a change of seasons, man. It was hot, rainy, snow. We woke up on our Discovery Day to a foot of snow, man. It was beautiful. Again, God, Director of the Year. Seriously, dude, I walked out of my dome to a beautiful white landscape. I think October is probably the end of when we're going to be doing retreats out there, and then maybe start them up again in April or May. But if you're interested in Nicole, we have to flow out our whole 2024 retreat schedule, do our strategic planning, all that type of stuff. But if you know of a vet, a first responder, or a family member looking for some healing who could use a healing grant, you send them to nofallenheroes.com, contact us, and there's a sponsorship request form. Even if you can be a self-pay, which would be great, you still have to kind of fill that out. So we have our list and we collect our data and stuff like that. But said our goodbyes for now. Dr. J, his staff out there, Quince, we'll be back. I'll be back. Thank you, Oregon. Thank you, Colorado. Hopefully Daniel opening his place out in Oregon. If you're interested in that, reach out to me or Dan. I can hook you up with Daniel if you don't have his contact info. I think they still need investors. But this thing, I don't even want to get into the numbers. I hate talking numbers and stuff like that. I just like leading with my heart, my truth, and numbers. God, the universe will provide. But what I'm getting at is that's why I need to brief the show. But the Healing Realty Trust, the microdoses joint venture, we have a lot of investors in both of those things. And I think Daniel was going to look at the way the math works out. I think the place is paid off in a month. It's insane in a good way, right? There's like 7,000 people on their list to heal at this retreat center in Oregon. That was 7 with 3 zeros after it. God bless the people of Oregon wanting to heal. So we're coming as soon as we can to get out there. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me, Whiz at WHIZ at nofallenheroes.com. Okay, I got like 5 minutes left. Got off the phone today. LIV Entertainment. LIV, L-I-V, Entertainment. L-I-V, Entertainment. 2 things got picked up. The flight to fight veteran suicide. Taking the jet, 5 cities around the U.S., patriotic American cities. We got Post Malone. We got Jon Stewart. Some other cool folks. Post is going to do a concert. I think Dustin Lynch. I'm going to get with Dustin and try and pitch in. Got to get with my brother Ferg to see if Tom Cruise and his L-39, I'll fly mine out, and we'll dogfight with a couple vets in our back seat. So I'm going to try and get the Ferg to get to Tom. If not, he's got Rooster, man. Glenn Powell, great American, good kid. Been in 2 naval aviation movies this year, Maverick and my God, whatchamacallit, the Korean War with Jesse Brown. So next September, the flight to fight veteran suicide, 2-hour special, picked up, blown away. They also picked up, which blows me away even more, No Fallen Heroes Extraction. 6, 8 episodes. I got a budget. I got to start flowing out. No Fallen Heroes Extraction. A&E, is it? Discovery? A&E, one of them. you've seen the show Intervention, right? Or you clicked by it. Intervention, 10 seasons, 3 Emmys, helping people. We are doing No Fallen Heroes Extraction. We're going to go in. I'm going to go in to veterans and first responders or family members needing help who are seeking the medicine, and we're going to extract them. And we're going to follow their healing journey, good, bad, or otherwise, to show everything, to show truth. So I got that phone call this morning, literally before I came to the podcast studio, and I still don't believe it. I still won't believe it. It's been 2.5 years of me. It's been my full-time job, man, trying to make that shit happen. And a lot of low points, but the ego called them low points. Sometimes in some of these lows, I knew that voice, God, my sister, my dad just said, keep going, man. Chin strap on, mouth guard in, right up the middle, Matthew. So I still don't believe it. There's just contracts and shit flying around, but I want to give a special shout out to the initial No Fallen Heroes Angels, who day one, I gave a brief like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. And you guys came through in 24 hours. I was like, holy shit. Do you guys know I'm the village idiot, right? I'm robbing a village of an idiot somewhere. So thank you for your trust. Thank you for believing in you. Not necessarily believing in me, believing in you. To see the power of something like this. And I know it's been frustrating because a year later, hey, we're launching a REIT. Okay, what about the entertainment thing? I'm like, dude, I'm fucking working on it, man. I got close. I got microdoses, Maverick Mind, No Fallen Heroes product launch. Dude, how's the entertainment thing looking? Trust me, man, I'm fucking working on it. So out of the 3 ships I had deployed, one was kind of fucking motoring around the dock, and the other 2 are at flank speed. This one, as of the phone call today, is fucking going up to flank speed. You'll know more when I know, but let me put up the bat signal. Coming up with, if you know some pretty cool, not even if they're cool, I don't care. I meant interesting veterans or first responders or family members who want to heal. We need some folks for 6 to 8. I can't remember who said there was different numbers thrown around. We need budgets and scripts for 8. 6. Let's just go with 6. And knock on wood, if things are good, we're in it for the long haul. So once again, thank you to the initial No Fallen Heroes Angels. You guys believed in me. You believed in you. You believed in the power of this mission. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And hopefully pretty soon from the bottom of my wallet, because you guys invested. And that is my mission objective, as you all know, is to heal and do all that stuff. But obviously down here, number 2 or 3 mission objective is for you guys to make some money. Even though it's funny, over the past year, people are like, dude, don't worry about it, Whiz. Just seeing everything that's going on is good enough for me. You people are saints, but I'm a businessman. That ain't a charity. You guys ain't a charity. No Fallen Heroes Foundation is. That isn't. And that's my job is to get you guys airborne. Okay? So thank you for that. Thank you for everything. I can't believe I changed my ratio. 5% is the medicine, 95% is the integration. After this psilocybin 5-gram heroic dose, I'm still unpacking in a good way all the downloads, still getting messages. I close my eyes to meditate in the morning or my afternoon meditation. I put on the playlist from ceremony. Man, I am back in it and I get more downloads. So I'll have more to debrief as I have with my other medicine experiences as time goes on. But I am blessed and I am unstoppable. And I thank all of you who listen, who watch this podcast on YouTube. Please subscribe to the No Fallen Heroes YouTube channel. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to this podcast. Please share it. If you know anyone who could use maybe this type of help, send them episode number 7. It's called Healed by the Light. Instead of blinded by the light, I was healed by the light. That is a good gateway podcast to get people to know my initial medical experience, who I am, and what we do. So if you got a veteran, first responder, or family member who might be interested in something like this, that's the gateway to knowledge. Okay? All right, folks. Man, blessed and unstoppable. What an incredible week. Deep breath. Full of gratitude. Full of hope. I didn't get into that too much, but man, I saw war. And I was so fucking pissed. It made no sense. None of it made sense. Ukraine, Russians killing each other, Jews, Palestinians on the medicine. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop. To be above that, not above that in a superior way, but in a soul way. Yes, in a superior way. War is the caveman default stupidity. It's a horror. Stop. So that was one of the dark moments. I completely forgot about this. I'm going on a rant with 2 minutes left. Completely forgot about that. But that was bad. That was, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? Now you know why these medicines were made illegal. Wait, we turned Whiz into a peacemaker? Fucking can't do that. War is good for business. It's a racket, Whiz. It is. And that's why we got to get these healing medicines to everybody before it's too late. Have a great rest of your day. Hug the people you love and your family and your friends, and hug them tight, man. Love is all there is. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you're hedged, especially in this volatile market. Fights on. Namaste and Basi Basi. Whiz out.